It was a pretty close match today. I mean, the main thing I need you to focus on from this match is better positioning, right? I think so. I think this was like the guild's first time fighting like a decently strong AOE, and it's just I don't think people know how to position against that or like what to look out for. Because I saw a lot of people kind of just like walk forward and die to the gravity field, or those be standing still while the gravity field is just on top of them ticking away, right? Also, so here I think we're using party chat. The thing is, because Fatty needs more comms just in general for map 1, and it's just like sometimes I call stuff out for Moon. It's just I don't push the like I'm on push to talk for Discord, and sometimes like I see stuff to call out and it's like I forget to push the key, and so they don't hear it. You hear it, but nobody else on the Discord hears it. I think for next week, right, we'll still use party chat, but instead of me using push to talk, I'm gonna use voice activation. And like I won't be directly calling stuff out for you to focus on. It's gonna kind of just be like generally for everyone at Moon. Just like a enemy location call out, or if it's like a key target call out. But we'll still use party chat. That way you can have, use one earpiece so you can still like hear specifically me, and then the other piece for the map 1 Discord. So here at the start, I don't know exactly where you place your AoEs, but I think I tell you like place it towards the middle of Moon.
SG middle towards Moon.
So, towards the middle of Moon, and then you're actually casting it on the east over here, and this is actually where our own guild members are coming in from, right? But you're supposed to cast it towards the enemies, not towards us.
Towards the north, towards the north.
You can see, like I told you, the reason why I'm mid, because that's where they're gonna kind of be grouped up, and you can see they're pushing in from the west. So then you can move forward a little bit more, and then start placing your SG over here.
Statue's good. Oh, that's ours.
So you can see whenever. So even without me calling out like specific targets, you can see like if there's a red emblem, that should immediately draw your attention. And that should always be your focus, is that red emblem. Because we'll have other people focus on some of these other players, but like I want you to CC like specific people. Usually it's gonna be the red emblem players, which are typically like the key targets.
Statue's good. Oh, that's ours. In our stack, in our stack.
And sometimes, I'm calling in our stack because I just want you to cast like either Grav, a Quagmire, or SG, just to CC this guy. You don't have to keep spamming it on him, because your focus should still be on the enemies up here, especially since Oniped's right there.
Are we? Oh, we're orange. Okay, so we don't have Moon. Hold on. Stay dead. Stay dead.
So no, I just read somebody. I think it was Bonic, so I told you to stay dead because it's a 6-second cooldown. And I'm resting you over the other two because I know you're at least CC. So I want you to CC Oniped so it slows the push.
Okay. Get.
So you can see when you get rezzed, right? You can see. So there's a AoE right here. There's AoE right there. Should have moved a little bit further back so you're not still casting inside the AoE. There's actually like kind of key points later on in the match where like I res you and you didn't reposition like you're supposed to. You still cast inside the AoE, and you can see that you just end up dying. I'm not sure if you actually get SG cast off here.
Get on the east side, because they have the wizard right there.
But you can see I told you go east because you saw there's those 2 AoEs right there, and you shouldn't like keep standing on it because like Oniped's gravity ticks deal like either it's like 50 or 56k onto you. That's enough to at least like kill you in like I think like 3 quick ticks. So you don't wanna, you definitely wanna try your best to not stand on any of the AoEs if you can. So here you actually, you're still, like you switched focus on this north side. It still should have been on wherever Oniped's at. Because like these people over here, they're not doing anything. So don't worry about them. Your focus needs to be on their main DPS, which is Oniped. I mean, this one, you can kind of treat this match kind of like if it's early on for Bread Society, right? So like Helios, that's their main threat, their AoE DPS. So same thing here, like their main threat, their main AoE DPS is Oniped. That's the person you just have to focus on.
Okay.
So you can see if you're gonna push up towards Oniped, you have to be careful because like typically the gravity fields are gonna be like right in the middle of the front line, or right in the middle of our stack. I think so. You did take damage. You are standing on a grav field. I'm not sure if you do end up dying right here, but you know if you're gonna push up, it's like what I said in the first video. Like you want to go around the enemy AOE's. Like if you needed to, I mean, if you're gonna try to SG Oniped right here, you know, stand on this top side over here, or on the pillar up here. You get
Focus
Frozen
on the west,
World.
Focus on the west. Oh, hold on. Keep getting frozen. Use Frozen World.
You can see you still you cast it, you got res,
Use
and you're
Frozen
still
World.
you're casting on the same spot, and you start taking damage. Fortunately, you don't die here, but definitely don't stand on the same. Well, you do end up dying, but don't stand on the same spot and cast. You want to try to, as soon as you get res, reposition first. So like I said, you want to be careful if you're gonna push forward, because you can see there were AoEs right here, but you walked forward onto them and you ended up dying. You can see there's a lot of gray names. So actually, you know, that's also an indicator to help let you know that there's probably an AoE right here. If there's like 4 people dead, including you.
Wait,
Definitely do not don't
go
stand
around
there.
Up here where I'm at.
So I'm telling you to come up here north, because I want you to stand away from the AoE. And then even though I called you up north, that doesn't mean to switch your focus on north. I still wanted you to focus on Oniped and cast towards the east and south. So you're gonna see,
I mean, not SG, but this that grav. The grav's killing you.
so you're gonna see like after you reposition here, you're gonna switch focus up here, which isn't what you're supposed to do. I still wanted you to focus over here on this east side where Oniped's at.
This SG her because she can't cast if she gets storm gusted.
So you can see you're focusing on the people up here instead of focusing on Oniped somewhere over here. I think they repositioned on this west. The reason why, right, I'm telling you to focus on Oniped, because I can see Oniped, they still have a casting bar underneath their skill. I think it's probably like maybe 0.6, 0.7. I mean, it's fairly quick. The thing is, even at 0.5 cast time, it can still get cancelled from Storm Gust knockbacks if they aren't using something like a Fin 3-star or like the indoor headgears.
Oh, he respawned. Okay, they're mostly on the west. Focus on a ped. Your SG on a ped. She's south. South.
Yeah, so you see, if you go straight up like that, you know, that's a pretty dangerous lane to take, because there's likely going to be an AoE, or they're going to end up casting an AoE right there. You already see a lot of dead people right here. So this, like, that should tell you that those gravities are from Oniped right there. So if you were going to cast, I think Oniped should be somewhere over here. But if you're going to cast on this side, you have to go around. So you're going to have to go from this east side and maybe even go outside of the circle and stand here to be able to cast from this side. Because if you go straight forward like you did, you're going to see like you start taking damage. I'm not sure, I can't remember if you die or not.
South.
You almost die. You can see it, you're gonna have to go around the AoE. So that means kind of going on the edge of the circle. Because like you can see over here, there's not really any enemy AoEs. So this area over here is pretty safe. I mean, you can see there's ship don't over here, but I'm not calling him out because we have safety walls. And he's not only that, he's playing in LK, so that's not a big threat. The main threat is still Oniped right here.
Only on Oniped. I gotta arrest this guy. Hold on.
You can see there's like that deep AoE right here. So if you're gonna go, if you need to go around, you'd have to go on the outside. But that looks like it wasn't Oniped's gravity field right there.
Keep casting towards south. Oniped. South, Oniped.
You can see you switched your focus here when it should still be towards Oniped.
Wait, I don't see anymore. Just keep pushing towards, keep pushing it up, keep pushing SG up.
So when I'm telling you push SG up, right, you don't go straight forward because you're gonna go straight into the AoEs. Like you can see there's this area over here. Because like I said in that first, like the whole purpose of that first video I made for you was to teach you how to, you know, cast deeper AoEs onto the enemy while still being able to, you know, avoid taking damage from their AoEs. As you can see, like you can't take too many ticks from that gravity field before you end up dying.
Push your SG up. Towards west. Losing moon. They frozen world. Where's IR? Okay, I don't think Oniped's here. Go south, respawn, and then go towards sun. Respawn,
So here,
respawn.
you're gonna go towards sun. And so I
Sun's
usually
empty,
tell
sun's
us
empty.
right to go from this top side.
SG to the east. SG.
Because you can see like this mid lane right here, usually people will take the mid lane to go from either, you know, from sun to moon or from moon to star. And it's just like if there's enemies kind of in this lane right here, you might get picked off. And so we're trying to prevent you from getting picked off. That's why usually you'll take this top path or you'll take the bottom path.
SG to the east.
Here I'm telling you SG East because I'm not worried about any of their people respawning from Sun. If anything, like if they're rotating, it's going to be rotating from Moon. So I'm telling you to SG here and kind of set up a precast. So that way, you know, you can see they're going to start trying to come back in and then they run into your SG.
We're gonna go from the north. Go from the north side. Okay, north side. Where I'm at. North. Don't
So
go in the
you can
middle, you're
see
getting picked off.
they didn't have a whole lot of people mid. It was mostly our people, but I'm still having us take north because, you know, I just want you to always take north or bottom, even if it's like pretty clear like this. Monster doesn't even have GT Synexes, right? So some guilds, they'll have a GT Synex kind of in between this area. And as people are rotating over, they're going to get picked off by that Synex. And it's just like a lot of people, you can see from our own guild, like a lot of people don't run sight. And then people also don't know that you can see where the Synex is casting Grimtooth from. And so that tells you exactly like where that Synex is, even without having sight up to be able to see them.
Okay, come to the west of the moon, west moon. Come from the go towards mid moon. AoE towards the east and southeast.
This when I called you mid, you're a little too far back. You could have stood, like you can see I was up here and I'm not even taking damage. I'm pretty safe. So you could have, like I wanted you to kind of stand like right next to the pillar. and then cast towards the enemies either, you know, either east side, south side, or southeast. But you kind of start going a little further away towards north.
Come south, come south, come south, come south. Come south. South. East, west moon.
Also, so when you rotate your camera, also like keep in mind of where northeast, south, and west are still are. So I told you I wanted you to cast precast on west moon, and so this right here is north, and you start casting towards the north. The reason why I was calling out for west moon is because they had just locked sun, so I'm worried about them rotating in from sun, which is on the west. And so that's why I'm telling you to precast your AoEs there, so if they do come and rotate over, you know, you already have some AoEs set up, and you know, if they go straight into it, hopefully they get CC'd, and it slows them down. But you can see like you're focusing on the north, not to call out, you know, west.
West moon.
I think
Shit.
so. Some people took west, I believe, and then they
Two
mostly
parties, man.
started taking. Most of them took the south path, because I saw there was 2 parties on this south side of moon. And actually, Oniped's party came in from the east of Star, and they frozen world right here. I was trying to get out, and I think I got frozen.
On a bed moon. She's east moon.
So right here,
I'm gonna die.
right? I'm gonna tell you, SG East Oniped. If I res you, the first thing you do, I mean, I know I told you like sometimes you're gonna have to cast Hide to break the enemies targeting on you, but like in a scenario like this where, you know, it's kind of urgent that you get this SG on Oniped, so it slows their push. Like you can see our whole stack is right here. Oniped's gonna push their grab field on this west side. I needed you to get like a very quick, well, one, you needed to kind of reposition a little bit, but I wanted you to get a quick SG. I think you end up casting Hide first.
SG east. SG east on a bed. Losing moon. East.
Actually, I don't even think you got SG off, did you?
bed.
No, it got cancelled from the...
SG east.
It got cancelled from the ADL.
East. SG east on a bed.
Also, like, you know, when you get res, right, while you're repositioning, you can hold your SG skill and like target it in this area, or like aim it in this area. So as soon as you know, get out of the AoE, you know, you can just release the skill and it's going to cast it where you're aiming. But the thing you don't want to do is, like, as soon as you get res, right, you don't want to cast on the same spot, because, you know, if you're casting on the same spot where you just died, you're likely going to just die again.
SG east. SG east on a bed. Losing moon.
Yeah, so you didn't get the SG on Oniped right there, and then you can see like the whole stack starts to wipe right here.
Losing moon.
Now I can't tell, there might have been like a small flank from the west side.
Respawn. Get in the...
So here, I'm not sure if Fatty had already told people to rotate sun, but you know, I'm heading towards moon, and I can see they're okay. They're gonna cap it. So, you know, if it's already locked, there's no point in going there. So we can see that sun is takeable. So we just have to rotate over and take sun.
Okay, never mind.
The issue is, like, you can see, so they just locked it. You have a lot of people. There's a lot of people rotating back to moon instead of going straight to sun. I'm not sure. Like, I'd have to listen to my recording, but I'm not sure if like Fatty had already said for people to rotate to sun. Because if he did and people still went moon, then, you know, they went to the wrong spot. Or if you're like rotating right here,
go sun.
So if he said for people to go sun, there's a lot of people still focusing on moon for some reason. But you can see, like, we can cap sun. But it's
cap zone real
just
quick.
me, you, and Bonic pretty much. We're the only ones alive. And that's not enough to actually take it. And then here, you know, you get poked in the ass by this spear. You know, I was kind of hoping you'd stay alive so you can, you know, you can take that punch for me, but I ended up getting punched. I was actually trying to get back to the SG. I mean, not the SG, but the safety wall. But, you know, I was rubber banding like
Got punched.
I was pretty much rubber
go back
banding
moon.
this whole game.
Go back moon.
I mean, I am using my VPN, but I was still rubber banding a lot this time. So here, we're going back to moon. Actually, you know, I tell you go east moon because the enemy's positioned here on the middle of moon and on the west. Especially, you can see Onipeds right there, so you definitely don't want to linger right here. Is probably going to start dropping gravity fields right there.
Oniped's not here. Oh no, she's west side. SU west. Alright, she's on south now.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate. You got pulled like 2 times or 3 times by Earthlord right there.
I think
You can see Onipeds there on the middle.
We're in the gravities.
But you can see I told us to step off.
Okay, we're in the gravities. We're in the gravities.
As I can see, you're starting to take some damage. I had to tell you to.
Losing star.
I had to tell you to get out.
SG west. Southwest.
You can see Onipeds right here. I'm telling you the SG Southwest. This would definitely be a dangerous spot to stand on because this is probably where Oniped's gonna drop a gravity field. But you can see there's this over here on the left. There's that open space. I mean, there's ship don't. He's gonna dive in on somebody over here, but I mean, there's safety walls, so don't worry about ship don't.
Southwest, I can't.
Actually, he didn't even get the dive. He just dies.
Fatty, I don't see your blue gen.
But you can see there's
south moon.
this area over here that was safe. Because a lot of the AoEs are going right here in the middle.
That's Oniped's SG. I mean not SG, but Grav on the east. Wait, where's? Push up, push your SG up.
So you can see I tell you push your SG up and you go straight into the gravity field. You can see this area right here. Completely safe. From AoEs at least.
Keep going, no, further south. South moon, deeper. Fuck, okay, no, we locked it. Keep going. Wait, go sun.
So you can see here, we're going to take the mid lane to rotate to sun. And I actually get picked off. And this is the reason why I usually tell us to go to like take the north side or the south side. Because I got fingered by this damn whale right here.
Shit. SG, east moon. Go to the top to moon.
So you can see I told you to go to the top for moon because, you know, I got picked off right there. And I just don't want the same thing to happen to you when you rotate back to moon. So actually, right here, you kind of linger at moon. Not moon, but sun. So I think Fatty even said on voice, right, you know, lock it and then we're going straight back to moon. Because the thing is, it's locked, so there's no point of kind of lingering there. They can't do anything with it. They can't take it for it's like 30 seconds. right? So you can see it's locked. So rotate straight back to moon as soon as you guys cap it. And actually, you can see you almost got picked off by SBK right here.
Where's Blonic? Wait, are you go to moon? Go to moon. I don't see a moon.
You can see like
South.
if you take that mid lane, you might get picked off.
Losing sun. South. South moon. Wait.
Okay, so here I think this is when they start heading the Baron, because you know Baron spawned at 10 minutes. I think the whole guild's heading there.
Don't worry about Algren.
Yeah, you can see like it was called out on voice that they're heading the Baron. I was telling you I wanted you to just stay here, just to make sure we secure this. They don't have somebody to try and sneak the point while we rotate over. So, I mean, not only that, like Baron right now is probably at like 95% HP or something. It's pretty high. So we're kind of just waiting for it to get a little bit lower and wait for them to call everyone over to try and contest.
Star locked. Moon's clear. I don't know where Bonic's at.
Okay, so the last thing I need to point out is actually coming up is right here at Baron. So you can see they call this over the Baron. I mean, I'm telling you to SG onto the Baron, right? To try to CC their attackers. So, you know, we're making our way to Baron.
Okay, Baron. You ready? SG. SG on the Baron.
So here, you actually could have gone from this left side. Because the thing is, like, you went straight, but it's unfortunate that they cast both Frozen World and the statue skill. Because they can see, like, we have people rotating and they're just going straight, right? So that's, like, an easy placement for AoE right there. And you can see, like, you and a bunch of people will get picked off right here.
On the Baron.
You definitely don't want to just run straight, because, like, you can see you guys made it pretty easy for the enemy to just place it right here.
On the Baron. You're gonna die. I'm gonna res you. SG. If Frozen World.
So you can see
die, on the Baron.
I resed you. And
on the Baron.
You recast. So you right here, right? This is the edge of Frozen World. You should have, if anything, like as soon as you got rezzed, you should have repositioned here out of the AoE. Instead, you move. I'm not sure if this is a grab field or if if you're taking damage from Frozen World, but you still stay inside the AoE and then you try to cast SG, and then you just end up dying again. I mean, if you repositioned here, you could have gotten maybe like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 SGs off.
You're gonna die. I'm gonna res you. SG. If Frozen World.
Yeah, I think that was a gravity field, but definitely, like, you can see, like, you should have repositioned up here and started, cast the SG here and then start pushing it towards them instead of standing here. Because if I was playing my wizard, right, I would have, if I got rezzed, I'm going up here and then I'm casting SG right there, and then I'm either, pushing it up here or pushing it up there. I would not have I would not have stayed on that AoE right there. You're just gonna die. And that's pretty much GG right there.
They got it.
So for next week,
if it wasn't for Baron, we could have won this.
For next week, I don't know, we'll see who we're matching up against, because they might be more single target focused rather than like have a strong AoE. But definitely against another guild that has like a decently geared AoE, you have to keep in mind of like where their AoE's at and try to go around it. Or if they're pushing their AoEs into us, you have to move away out of the circle so you don't die. And I think that should be, I mean, that's mostly it. It's just mostly, work on your positioning, especially against AoEs. Because I think this was, for this match, I think this was the guild's first time fighting like a decently geared AoE. Because like for all the cross server matches we had, they're all pretty much single target. It's a lot of like ADLs and dual daggers are sacrifice paladins. So single target DPS. It is different when it's an AoE. Because you actually have to be mindful of your positioning and like where you're gonna go and try to cast your skills from. So I mean, this is a good practice for that because like especially like here on Isloot 7, right, there's like no competition at all. Like Star, there's Nami, her immies are weak as hell. I mean there's X, but he's single target, and then you have all the other Wells and Star, you have Elysian, like literally there's no competition. So like there's no, like I wouldn't consider those guilds good practice for you. Like this is definitely somewhat good practice. So hopefully like you learn from this one and try to focus on your positioning for the next one.